Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I am your boy, Big Al Better. This is Beat the Book. If you guys are new to the channel, we are doing NBA bets here. We do all sorts of gambling on the sports gambling only on this channel. We do NBA, we do NFL, we do NHL. But for today's video, as you guys clicked on it, it's for the NBA. We are in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. This is a Western Conference Finals video for the Timberwolves and the Thunder, Game 2. If you guys are new to the channel, the way we kind of do it, please like and subscribe. That always helps. But if you guys are new to the channel, the way we do it, we spend about the first 4 to 5 minutes recapping how the last night's games went. And then after that, we go ahead and hop into our new bets. So if you guys are new and don't really care about how the last bets went, go ahead and hop to about 5 minutes. That's where we're going to jump into, the bets you guys clicked on this video for. And if you guys do care about how last night's bets went and just want to hang out, then just stay tuned. But 5 minutes is about where you're going to find the new bets. But anyway, without wasting too much time, guys, let's go ahead and hop into how last night's bets went. Using a new mic setup here. I don't have the headset on. I just pulled the mic out. Hopefully it sounds good for you guys. Let me know in the comments if it doesn't, and I'll switch back to the headset. But I did a couple tests. It sounded good to me, so I figured I'd run with it. But anyway, we got T-Wolves Thunder will be at 5 minutes. We got the Knicks-Pacers game. I mean, goodness gracious, if you guys watched that game, what an incredible game. Went to overtime. I thought Halliburton had ended the game with that step back that hits the back iron, jumps up, and then splashes right down. And you're thinking game over. I was watching the game with my sister, and we're just like, we were both rooting for the Pacers because obviously if you guys were watching, we were on the Pacers, the plus 4.5, and we thought they won the game right there. And I'm just like, let's go. Boom. We're high-fiving and everything. And then they're like, his foot's on the line. It's only going to be at 2. And we're like, oh, no. And Halliburton did the choke thing, and it was perfect, right? And then it goes to overtime, and then they end up winning the game anyway. But what a great game. Just, that's game 1. My sister kept saying that. She said like 3 or 4 times. She's like, this is only game 1. Like, we get potentially 7 games. But she's like, this is only game 1. This is going to be an awesome series. And I was like, absolutely. This is going to be a great series. So, anyway, I kind of, buried the lead, if you will, but we had the Pacers plus 4.5, so that cashes for us. And then we also were on the over 224, which I gave it out at 224. When I got to the book today, or last night, whenever you guys are seeing this, when I got to the book, it was 221. It had already pulled all the way down, and I liked it even more because we liked 224. So obviously, if it dropped to 221, we liked that also. So I got it at 221. Didn't even matter. I mean, they got to 270 with what that final score was. 238, 235, I think was final score. 238, 236. It was one of those two. So you're talking about a 270, over 270 total. That was incredible. Obviously, overtime helped a lot, but they were at 240, I believe, before overtime even hit. So, so we cashed the 2 big bets. As far as the 4-pick parlay, now, Benedict Mathurin, we were on him big. He only ended up with 9 points. We had him for 15 on the 4-pick parlay. Pascal Siakam, 5+ boards. That was a minus 500 play, so it's not like it was a big risk. He only had 5 boards. So he does cash that, but that's all he had. Then we had Karl-Anthony Towns under 1.5 assists. You can't even make this up, dude. He lands on 2, and he had 2 in the first half. So he had nothing for the second half, but he had 2 assists in the first half. He had 1 in the first quarter and 1 in the second quarter, and it's just like, it killed me. I was like looking at it, and I made a bunch of wild parlays too, because just for fun. Not a lot of money on them, but just like for fun, with a bunch of player props, and all of them I put the cat under 1.5 because I was so convinced he was going to be under 1.5. And then, of course, he gets 2 in the first half, and it was just game over. Gets nothing for the rest of the game, which is what he's been doing. So we may revisit the 1.5 assists. We're not going to do that in the next game they play because I don't I like it, but I don't want to curse us, if you will. And then our final pick was Josh Hart, 25 plus PRA. He ends at 28. So he cashes for us, but it just sucks because the 4-pick, we go 50%. Mathurin was obviously a reach play. That's why it was plus money. He ends at 9. His line was 11, so he was under. Had a lot of opportunity. He played 21 minutes in this game, which the starters played closer to 40. He had 21. Obi Toppin had 23 or 24 minutes, so he didn't get as many minutes as I thought he was going to get, but he still had opportunities in there. He was getting fouled. He was drawn fouls, getting to the line. So we may look back at him. I don't think we're going to take him in game 2, but we may look at him when they get at home in game 3. But so 4-pick does not come through, but Siakam got his boards, and Hart got his PRA. Cat does not get his under assist, but he probably will in the next couple games. So anyway, good night for us in general because the big bets are always the over-unders and the spreads. If you guys have been watching the channel, you guys know that. But a great game to watch. I mean, goodness gracious. The T-Wolves Thunder game 1 was awesome. It was a fun game to watch. And then the Thunder just came on strong at the very end and kind of took the game over. This game was good from start to finish. This game was really fun. So we have 2 good series on our hands for the finals, and then whatever ends up happening for the finals will be a great. Seemingly, it's lining up for a great matchup. So anyway, that's about the 5-minute mark. So let's go ahead and hop into today's games. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch the screen here. I gotta go bada bing, no big deal. So here's our bet scene. We've got the Timberwolves and the Thunder. That is the here's the over under the spread. We use DraftKings on the channel because that's the book that is the closest to me. I live in a state where we can't bet online. I can look at lines online, but I can't go bet online, so I have to go to a book. So we use DraftKings because that's the closest book to me. Use any book you guys want. Always, like I preach, this channel preaches, me and Maddie Bets, get the best line you can. So if you're in a state where you can play every book, make sure you're checking all the books. If you can, like for instance, if you like the Thunder -7.5, but you can find them at -5.5 somewhere because BetMGM has them there, or 365 or Bet365 has them there, bet the lowest line, bet the best line, because that's how you get value, and that's how you inevitably long-term beat the book. So always play the best line available to you guys. But anyway, for this game, we got T-Wolves, we got Thunder. 7.5 is the spread. It was the exact same spread for the first game, 7.5. The over-under dropped almost 4 points. It was 218 for the first game. This one's 214.5. Obviously, the last game went under. They got to 202. We were on the under in the first game. I liked the Thunder's defense was getting praised like heavy, and the Timberwolves defense has been very good. Now, for this game, I've kind of been going back and forth on the over-under. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to see pretty good defense again, but as you guys know, as series go on, you know how to defend better, but you also know how to score better on the defense that was played. Sometimes you expect a better defense than you end up getting. Julius Randle had a great first half in this first game, but then he kind of didn't do much in the second half until the fourth quarter. I don't expect that to be the case this time. I think he's going to come out early and often, and also no points in the fourth quarter is what they were saying for Anthony Edwards. That's not going to happen again. So I expect the Timberwolves to kind of do a little bit more as far as scoring points in this one. So I like flipping it. We like the under because of the defense. I think in the first game, you're always going to, when you have 2 really good defenses, you're going to have an under-ish game. But they got to 202. I think this one gets a little higher scoring. And you got to remember, the Thunder won by 12, 15 points. It was 114-98 was the final total. So that's 16 points, right? If this is a closer game, I think we're getting more scoring, and they're matching that total. So I like the I'm going to go with the over. The channel, is going to go with the over here. You guys obviously do what you want to do. It's not my money to spend. It's not my money to bet. It's your guys'. You guys are just here for kind of my insights and my view on it. But I like the over here. I think they're going to have figured some things out. You could tell the Thunder started that game slow as well. So if we just get a higher scoring, more points scored early from the Thunder, that forces the T-Wolves to answer, and we may bounce back and forth and get a higher game. So I like the over here, over 214.5. They did bring the points down to, like, when this one opened, it was 216. The first game opened at 216, right? And I was like, I'll take the under. But this one's even lower than that total, and I think we're going to get higher scoring in this game. So I like the over here, and we will obviously adjust. If this one's right around, if this game ends about 200, and the total when they get to Minnesota for Game 3 is still up this high, we will take the under again. I'm not married to a side. We got to play what's in front of us, right? We got to live in reality. But the last one was really low at 202, and they only bring this points down about 3 points. I think I'm good with an over here. They may be trying to okey doke us into taking an under here because they know it might go a lot higher. And I think if the game was closer, we would have gotten higher. So I like the over. That was a long way for me to say I like the over. And then as far as the spread, we're gonna ride with the Timberwolves again. I think they had a 4-point lead at halftime. They had full opportunities. Like I said, no scoring from Ant in the fourth quarter, and then Julius Randle not really doing anything after halftime until way late in the fourth quarter. I mean, he ended with 28 points, but he had 20 at halftime. So he only gets 8 points in a whole half when he had 20 in the first half. He was non-existent. And Jaden McDaniels got in foul trouble. They had to bench him for half the third quarter and a lot of the fourth. Ant was in foul trouble. Julius Randle was in foul trouble. I believe Naz Reid was in foul trouble. Like, a lot of these players were in foul trouble because Shea was getting all these crazy calls. One, I don't think Shea gets all the crazy calls again, where a guy barely touches him and he flops and he gets the call. I don't think they're doing that in this game. And then secondly, I think the Timberwolves will adjust and they're going to play much better defense, keep the hands out. Like, the body bumps will still be there a little bit, but they're going to do a lot better job of not getting called for these fouls. And Jaden McDaniels, is the best defender on that team. Arguably, I say arguably. I don't want to, have somebody in the comments, oh, he's not the best, whatever. He's arguably the best defender on the team, and him being at 5 fouls midway through the third quarter, what are you supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like the Timberwolves again at plus 7.5. I think it's the right number. I think just the way that game played out with foul trouble and that sort of thing didn't play out well for the Timberwolves to win that game. And they had a lead early. They just kind of gave it up in the third quarter and couldn't recover from what they gave up on the road. So I think they come in a little tighter in this one. Ant scores more points. He's more dominant. And I think they get the job done. I don't know that they'll win, but I think they'll cover. So I like the over and I like the cover from the Timberwolves. As far as a 4-pick parlay, I like... we're just going to go with all overs. I'm going to build this one for you guys. Like I said, we're not doing like the 1 or 2 pick parlays like we've been doing because we're in the final series. So I'm just going to do a parlay. So let's switch the scene one last time here. We'll hit same game parlay over on DraftKings. That's what we're looking at here. We're going to go to, all we're doing is points, player points, right? And maybe I get out of same game parlay because I think it parlays it for you anyway. We'll go to player points, right? We're going for over-unders. So we're going to scroll down to where it goes over-unders, right? So now, you guys take whatever you want. This is just what I built, right? We're only playing a Timberwolves bounce back spot, basically, with this parlay. So we're going to go take Jaden McDaniels, by the way, over 11.5 points. He had 5 points in the first, I think it was the first minute and a half of game 1. He hit a 3 and he hit a mid-range 2. And they were just boom, boom, done. And then he ends the game with 7 points because then he didn't shoot again. He had 5 shots in the whole game. He was 3 of 5 from the field. Like, that's an incredible 60% from the field. He only shot 5 times. Like, that's because the foul trouble and because he was playing a lot of defense. I don't think they're going to do that again this time. I think they're going to feed him early, get him involved, get him scoring, and I think we'll hit this number. Next, we've got Anthony Edwards. His number came, look at that, all the way down to 23.5. To start, I think he was 27.5 in game 1. They've dropped it 4 points. We're going to take the over again. He had 18 points in the last game, but I think he was at 12 at halftime, but you remember he rolled his ankle. He missed half the second quarter, came back, kind of wasn't himself, and like I said, didn't score in the fourth. If he scores any points in the fourth, we probably hit this number, right? He only needed to score 6 more points. He was at 18. So I like Anthony Edwards here to bounce back heavily. He's going to answer. And then next we're going to go with Julius Randle. Look at his line. Over 18.5. He's coming off a 28-point game, and he's coming off, I believe it's 6 or 7 straight over 20-point games, and we get his number under 18 and under 20. We have to take that. So we're taking that. And then our final one's going to be Rudy Gobert, right? Rudy Gobert, where's he at? At the bottom here. Over 6.5. He had 2 points in the first game, right? That's not Rudy Gobert basketball. Like, he was a non-factor basically in that game. He kind of got a little bit bullied maybe by Chet Holmgren. I don't really know, but he only had 2 points. He's going to bounce back in a big way. He's a competitor. He's a great player. He's a defensive player. We get that. He's going to have a lot more blocks. He's going to rebound, but they're going to find ways to work the ball to him, and he's going to get some free throws. He's going to be more aggressive in the paint. He's going to have, the guy's 7 feet tall, right? He just needs he needs 3 alley-oops. And we're at 6 points. 1 foul makes a free throw. We're in there for 7. So I love him at 6.5 total points. As you guys can see on the screen, this parlay is plus 1,500, which is just kind of ridiculous. So once again, just to recap, that's Jaden Daniels over 11.5 points. He had 7 early. He had 5 early in the first game, and he ends at 7. He's not going to do that again. Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points. He had 18 in the last game, but he didn't score in the fourth quarter, so we expect that to, he's gonna bounce back. Randall over 18.5 points, which is too low of a number because he just had 28. And then our final line is Rudy Gobert over 6.5 points when he had only 2 in the first game, which is an outlier. He's gonna bounce back heavy. I expect him to have probably closer to 10. I think he breaks 10, 12 points in this game. Has some dunks in the paint. So that 4-pick parlay plays out plus 1,500 right now on DraftKings. Shop your guys' books. See what you guys can get this at. But I just like, and even if these point numbers move a little bit as far as the over-unders, I don't mind it. Like if Ant gets to 25, I still like it. If Jaden Daniels goes to 13.5, I don't mind it. If Randall goes to 22.5, I think the high watermark for me with Randall is 22.5. Gobert, I like this at this number. But like I said, I could see him getting to 10 in this game, so I don't mind that at all. But those are the 4 picks I like. We'll just call it the T-Wolves bounce back game. Not saying they're going to win. They're going to. I don't want to put my stamp on it that they're going to cover. My thinking is that they are going to cover, and I like that a lot. So anyway, that is your guys' 4-pick parlay there. I'm going to switch the screen back to this. As always, guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you guys did find some value, make sure you share with your friends that gamble. And if you guys have been winning, let me know in the chat. I always love to know when you guys are making money. We're here to help you guys beat the book. That's kind of the whole goal. I'm making all these bets as well. I'm beating the book. So if you guys are tailing, you guys are beating the book. As always, don't be afraid to fade me because I'm not always right. And then once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's a 15-minute video from one game. Maybe that's a little long, but like I said, we take about 5 minutes to recap. I like to talk about the games too. It's not just for betting. We're all sports fans here. So, yeah, what an incredible season we've had with this NBA playoffs. And we're coming down to the wire, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And that game with that Pacers next game was awesome. So anyway, thank you guys also for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.